Hey everyone, this is Ralph again with another installment of the Key Essentials. Today we're going to do 33201, which is Employment Discrimination Retaliation, otherwise known as EEO. You are guaranteed to get one or two questions on your exam about this. The good news is that it's relatively straightforward, so there's nothing to be afraid of. So let's get started. Okay, now there's a bunch of stuff in the packet that John gave you in the key packet. A lot of it's scope statement and things like that and what's covered. That's fairly straightforward. Anybody who goes to my class, you remember that I said, remember about odd things that are protected classes, like being in a military, being in the military and things like that, right? Some of the jobs that you apply for, your credit statement, your credit rating makes you part of a protected class. So read the scope statement on your own. What we're going to do today is strictly the reporting procedure because this is what's going to be tested. And I think it's very important that you know it, and it's fairly straightforward. So let's take a look at the reporting procedure. Okay, so reporting procedure. Non-supervisors are strongly encouraged to report with becoming aware of employment discrimination, sexual harassment, or retaliation for the same, or someone is asked or encouraged to retaliate against a member of the service. Notice it doesn't say UMOS. Okay, this covers civilians too. And you'll remember it covers contractors, subcontractors, civilians, okay, for making an EO or participating in an EO investigation. So even if someone's given a hard time about being a witness to an EO, that in itself is an EEO complaint. So supervisors, managers, EEO liaisons are mandated to report as soon as possible or by the next business day. Supervisors, managers, they're usually talking about civilian managers there or EEO liaisons. EEO liaisons are often someone of a lower rank, like a detective or a police officer. I think it could be a sergeant, but the point is, whoever the EEO liaison in your command is, they are mandated reporters also. So supervisors, managers, or EEO liaisons are mandated reporters. The regular rank and file are strongly encouraged to report. Supervisors, managers, and EEO liaisons are mandated reporters to report to EEO ASAP or by the next business day. And that's if they observe discriminatory conduct or become aware of an allegation or a complaint. Now remember that, an allegation or complaint. They don't have to personally see it. If they become aware of an allegation or a complaint of employment discrimination, sexual harassment, or retaliation, okay, here's what the supervisors do in a nutshell. We're going to go on the next slide and tell you how they do it. But the bottom line is, don't investigate it. Just report it to EEO division, Equal Opportunity Division. That means no entries in department records. The very nature of an EEO is confidential. Okay, so just report it. And you see, I put this bubble in here for you at the bottom. Don't try to work it out. Don't inform the subject. Don't try to dissuade the reporter, okay, from reporting it. Don't try to be a good person and come around from the desk and try to work it out between the two of them. Don't do anything like that. Just pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. That's it. That's the answer on test day. Don't try to work it out. Don't try to verify what happened. If they come to you with a complaint, just report it. Don't even investigate it. Don't do anything. Just pick up the phone. Okay? Now let's take a look at the person who's either making the complaint, this is the rank and file, or somebody who becomes aware of a complaint. They can file a complaint in one of two ways. They file a complaint with EEOD by phone, email, fax, writing, whatever, in person, smoke signals, carrier pigeon. They don't say how to do it, but you can file a complaint with EEO any way that you'd like. After hours or weekends, EEO receives the voicemail or the email, and they will call you back the next business day, right? So make sure you know what that means. If somebody files a complaint with EEO on a Friday night, okay, at 10 o'clock at night, they're not going to call you back until Monday morning, okay, at 8 o'clock. Monday morning, they're going to call you back. A non-supervisor may call or write anonymously to file a complaint or to discuss EEO matters where the EEO division investigator can counsel, follow up, or do whatever. Or the member concerned can file with your CO, a supervisor, civilian manager, or EEO liaison. So really, I put the 2 ways that you call. So how does a member make a complaint? In just 2 ways. File a complaint with EEO directly or file a complaint with your supervisor. You see there's a comma after CO, so it doesn't have to be your commanding officer. So how does a member file a complaint with EEO? File a complaint with EEO direct by phone, email, whatever. Or number 2, file with your CO, supervisor, civilian manager, or EEO liaison. That's it. So a member who wants to make a complaint, you file it in 2 ways, with EEO direct or file with your CO, supervisor, manager. Remember that a non-supervisor may remain anonymous. A supervisor may not remain anonymous. Also, you'll note that a member may call, fax, email, etc., whatever, but you'll see for a supervisor in the next step that a supervisor does not have that option. They must call. Okay, so let's go to the next page and check it out. All right, so here are the supervisor duties, right? Supervisor, CO, civilian manager, EEO liaison, observing or becoming aware of such conduct, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. That's going to be the answer. Pick up the phone. EEO division, Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and get either a case number or an inquiry number and the name of the EEO person that you spoke to. Now, a case number means that they took a case on it. An inquiry number just means that they acknowledge they're recording the fact that you called, but they're probably not going to take a case on it. Okay, so that's the difference. A case number means they're going to take a case. An inquiry number says, hey, we acknowledge that you called, but we're probably not going to take a case on it. And by the way, here's my name. Okay, so supervisors, pick up the phone. Okay, non-business hours, leave a message with contact number, and EO will call you back. Any supervisor or liaison who fails to report as required or fails to report within the required time frame or fails to take action as directed by EEO will be disciplined. Supervisor receiving an allegation against oneself, immediately notify EEO. That's right. If somebody makes a complaint against you, to you, don't tell your CO, don't do any of that. Remember what procedure you're in. Remember the steps of the procedure. Supervisor receiving an allegation against oneself, pick up the phone and call EEO on yourself. That's exactly right. Now, supervisor, CO, manager, you'll remember that EEO liaison does not write the 49. They're not included in this step. So supervisor, CEO, manager, not the EEO liaison, if it got a case number and only if it got a case number, do the confidential 49 to EEO direct within 5 business days. Don't forget about the business days, not 5 calendar days, not just 5 days. It's 5 business days. And remember, if it got an inquiry number, no one writes the 49. It's only if it got a case number. And you'll also remember that there's never, ever a command log entry for an EEO. The very nature of EEO is anonymous. So there's no command log entry. Okay, we're going to talk about that because you're going to see another Key Essentials video on display of offensive material, and that's not the case. In display of offensive material, there is a command log entry, right? But in the EEO, a straight up EEO, no command log entry. You do a 49, a confidential 49 to EEO direct within 5 business days. And remember that the EEO liaison is a mandated reporter, but they do not write the 49. Also, you'll remember that if it got an inquiry number, no one writes the 49. There's no 49, okay? And never a command log entry for an EEO. Now, here's a little thing that was in the back of the packet, okay, and it's in the admin guide. I just wanted to put this in at the end of the video. We didn't cover this expressly in class. I don't know if the other instructors covered it, but I want you to look at this with me because it says the timeliness of filing may file orally or written complaint from date of occurrence, not the date of the original report. So from the date of the occurrence, 1 year to file with the NYPD, New York City Commission on Human Rights, or 3 years if it's a sexual harassment complaint. 1 year to file with New York State Division of Human Rights. MOS cannot file with state if a civil action is filed first. So whoever the person is that's offended, if they're going to sue, then you can't file with the state. 300 days to file with the United States EEO Commission, regardless of any other filing with any other agency. Okay, these dates do not limit the department's authority to discipline. So this is kind of like a weird thing to put at the end of the procedure. You see it involves NYPD, New York City Commission on Human Rights, New York State Division of Human Rights, and the United States EEO Commission. All right, so there's a bunch of different agencies involved there. So let's just read it again quickly. 1 year to file with the NYPD and the New York City Commission on Human Rights, or up to 3 years if it's a sexual harassment complaint. 1 year to file with New York State Division of Human Rights. The MOS cannot file with the state if a civil action was commenced first. And it's 300 days to file with the United States Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, regardless of any other filings were done. So I know this is a weird thing, but I'm just a little, uneasy about this. I would try to remember these dates. It's in the administrative guide. You're responsible to know it. And we went heavy into the NYPD reporting procedure. Will they ask you about this? I don't know. Nobody knows. But these are specific dates and times that are moved, that are changed or extended if it's specifically a sexual harassment complaint. So just give this a read. Try to remember it before test day. Okay, and if they go to it, at least you'll have the knowledge that you read it and you remembered it. It's only a few lines. It's not that hard to remember. Okay, so try to remember it. And that's going to be it for employment discrimination, retaliation. Good luck with that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time.